Good morning. We're going to work on some finger tabbing with this particular tutorial. And so I'm going to try to get right in there with where my fingers are placed on the strings. And so when we're working with tabs, the tabs look a lot like this tablature here, the string numbers. So we start with 1 at the bottom, 2, 3, 4. So we work our way from the floor to the top. But when we're reading tabs, when we're looking down at our instrument and we turn our ukulele upwards towards us, it looks like the string is going from the top down. It's still string 1, 2, 3, 4, regardless of whether you're looking at it from the floor up or whether you're looking at it face on. So when we're reading our tabs, string 1, on the tablature, on the lines, this is still string 1, whether you see it from the floor or from the top. So reading tabs is like turning your ukulele up and looking down at the strings in your fretboard here. So I'm going to move that back down. So we already have a good handle on our C chord, but if you play that individual string, which is the first string on the 1, 2, 3, third fret, that is a C note. So it ends our C chord, but this individually would be a C note. So we can play it as a C. On a tablature, it reads string 1, position number 3. So there'll be a number 3 on the top of the tablature. So that's where I'll place my finger. If you're supposed to play an open string to play the note, it would have a 0, meaning don't put any fingers down at all. So if I were to play the C string with no fingers held down, that becomes a C note. So that's the third string open. So a 0 would be there. If I were to move up one string or one fret on that C string, which happens to be string number 3, if I put my first finger down on the first fret of that third string, that's on the tab, it's string number 3, position number 1. So, and that sounds like a C sharp. So when we're playing on the ukulele, it mimics notes on a piano note structure. So we have semitones. So on a piano, you would have white keys. Those are all full tones. But the little black ones going up and down in between the two notes on a keyboard are half tones. And so we have the same sound structure on a ukulele, and same with where we would put our fingers. Sometimes we skip a fret in order to get the right sound to match up. So we do full tones. So if I were to play the third string open, so look, Mom, no hands. So no strings, or no fingers. So that is an open string. We'll start with string number 3 and just pick. Just give it a pull. Okay? If we were to play the next note on the keyboard, which is a D, a full tone, we would have to put our second finger on the second fret. So on the tablature, it would be the string number 3 with a number 2, indicating we put our second finger on the second fret of that string. And that is a D note. And actually, when we play a D chord, that note is in amongst our chord. So we have other notes playing along with that D to create a full chord, but that individual note D is within the chord. Then I move on to the E string, which is string number 2, and it's open. So it would have a 0. That's what you want to play, is an open string on the second string. So we now have open string 2, or sorry, 3, open string 3 for a C, number 2 on string 3, open string number 2 for an E note. Now for an F, it would be string 2, number 1. So our first finger goes on the first fret, and that is an F. Notice that when we play an F chord, that finger is on the F note. And when we play an F chord, we play other notes that sound harmonically beautiful with that F. And that completes the F chord. But when we're playing individual notes, we want just the one finger we need for picking that structure. So now we have string 3 open, string 3 position 2, string 2 open, string 2 position 1, that's an F. So we now have C, D, E, F, and then G. In the G chord, we have position 3 on the second string. So it would be marked a number 3 on the second string as where we put our fingers. That's a G. Then we move up to the next note, open A. So that's string 1, open. And then to get D, the D note on, so we go A, B, C, D. So it would be the first string, second position. So it would be numbered with a number 2. And to get our final C, third position, first string. So it would be marked with a number 3 on the first string in our tablatures. So we can play the whole scale, a C scale, like it would appear on a piano using tablatures. So we have open, 2, open, 1, 3, open, 2, 3. And that's starting on the third string. Open 3, so string 3 open, string 3 2, string 2 open, string 2 position 1, string 2 position 3, string 1 open, string 1 position 2, string 1 position 3. And if we were counted on the tablatures, reading each string 3 2 1, we would just be reading where our fingers are positioned on that string. So we have open, 2, open, 1, 3, open, 2, 3. And that is our C scale using tablatures, seeing the 4 strings and what position our fingers go along those tabs in order to read tabs. So more on that when we meet for class. And I hope this is helpful to you. Please, feedback is always welcome.